but it's also deeply important to train the future generation of AI technologists and AI ethics. Having said that, all of us, including those of us who might be described as experts, feel like the ground is constantly changing under our feet, right? As the developments in AI happen, the ethical analysis has to sort of be redone over and over again. So we have some broad understandings of some of the ethical issues related to AI, many of which are not commonly discussed. Like, we often talk about bias in AI, and it's very important and it needs to be addressed, but we talk much less, for example, about the environmental impact of, various people playing with these models just to see what they come up with. All of that has an environmental cost that is growing. So there's just a lot to educate the public about, a lot to educate all of us about, a lot to educate regulators about. And I feel like, aside from those of us in academia, the people who are actually driving the technology, the businesses that are putting these tools out into society, have to do a much better job of educating us.
Before I get ahead of ourselves here, let's kind of rewind a bit. I know that we can fill entire curriculum courses on defining what are ethics and bias, but in the context of modern generative artificial intelligence, what do we mean when we talk about ethics and bias?
If we're focused specifically on generative AI, which is the flavor of the day in terms of images and voice and audio and text, like ChatGPT, some of the issues that we're talking about are about the bias that it sort of ingests from its training data and then puts out in its outputs, potentially, if companies are not careful. There are also the ethical issues around the rights of the people who created the data that's now being used to train the AI models. So not just, legal issues related to copyright and fair use, but what is fair to the people who actually created the underlying data.